Mr. Chair, and welcome to you, Minister, and the officials. I'm going to stay on the theme of digital government. Unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to expand on some of the work that our government is doing, and especially with the new mandate from the Prime Minister around the digital resources. Naturally, we all know that during the COVID, the gap that already existed also highlighted certain opportunities that we could capitalize on. Can you expand on what is it that TBS is working to ensure that advancement in digital services is supplemented with the focus on access across government services?
Well, thank you again for the question. And I have to say, this is really the focus on making sure we deliver better services to Canadians. And we did have, through COVID-19, the opportunity, I have to say, to go faster because we didn't have a choice. We needed to make sure that our digital government was digital opportunity was to support Canadians. And those efforts to deliver secure, that's one of the very important, is secure, seamless services and information are focused in 4 key areas. So the first one is modernizing the way we replace, build, and manage our IT systems, providing services to people when and where they need them. The third one is to take a coordinated approach to digital operations. And lastly, to tackle longstanding institutional barriers to change and innovate. And that is why we're continuing to put this efforts to build upon a strong policy framework and a set of digital principles characterized by accessibility, information and data, cybersecurity, and above all, user needs.
Can you briefly comment on the number of departments that they are moving in that direction and have implemented some of the digital resources needed to help Canadians access their information?
Well, I can say that a whole of government approach is brought forward. I don't know if Paul wanted to add some specific questions on where departments are at this time, but I can tell you that we are pushing for a whole government approach in digitalization of the services. I'll let maybe Paul add a couple of data points.
Minister, thank you for that. No, I think, and thank you for the question. I think if you look at Canada, we have a policy on service and digital, and we're one of the only countries that have actually integrated service and digital from a policy perspective. And so as organizations modernize their services, and even during the pandemic, we created a service officials council that brought together the service leads from departments to begin to have conversations, or in many cases, continue those conversations. They started without the council, to look at how we actually continue to integrate service delivery and digital. I was speaking recently with colleagues from the United States, and they were looking at our policy and how we've developed this, and they're looking at that as an implementation possibility within their framework as well.
Thank you. So it's great that we are aligned the policies and our services together. One of the indicators always a measure that adequately talks about the success of Canadians being able to access our services. So I see that there's a new indicator for this in the departmental result, namely the degree to which Canadians are successful in completing tasks on Government of Canada website. Can you speak to this, and how will it be measured, and how will it help us, inform us about some of the future digital efforts that we have to do?
Well, thank you again for a very thorough question on how we're delivering services to Canadians and making sure that the quality of those services are up to par. I will ask Karen to go into details. And also, before she does, I just want to mention to all members around the table that as much as our government is putting a lot of effort in making sure that we digitalize our services, we are working with provinces, territories, municipalities, the private sector to get the best practices, because we all have to work together. One difficult situation that we have all across Canada is we need more capacity of IT knowledge and human resources. And I know that by working together, we'll be able to tackle the fact that we need to go faster, but we have to do that in a quality and in a good manner. Maybe Karen can add how we're doing.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Alors,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
to have more surveys for Canadians and survey their satisfaction to accessing our website. I will also point out that the Canadian Digital Services is working very hard to ensure that our websites are fully accessible to our Canadians with respect to services we provide to them. So those are measures that we will put forward. And in our departmental plan, you are seeing that we have a target of 70%. And through surveying Canadians about how easy it is to access our services digitally, we will be able to provide measures in future plans.
Thank you very much. And